Welcome back to Flow State Activation. My name is Sumedh Chatterjee. I'm a flow state specialist, and we're going to continue on with our Art of Seduction series. This right here is an epic book, okay? Go and purchase it if you haven't. If you're watching this for the first time and you have no idea about the Art of Seduction, go and purchase that book. We're talking about the chapter of entering their spirit, okay? What does this exactly mean? Now, I myself am a very, very spiritual man, okay? I'm a spiritual being first and then a human. I understand the power of this chapter. What Robert Greene states is that people are naturally narcissistic. They care about themselves. When we're much younger, we care about ourselves more physically. And as we grow older, we care about ourselves more psychologically. So our narcissism morphs into being more in the mind. Once a person's guard is down, once a person is mesmerized or is in trance of your mating ritual, they will begin to tap into your spirit, and they'll do this without even realizing the change. What you're really trying to do here is you're trying to create a deep-seated or deep-rooted harmony between you two. And you can do this with something called mirroring, okay? Now, I want to make a very big disclaimer here. This can be a very manipulative tactic. You've got to use this with a grain of salt. You've got to apply this understanding that this is a very refined and intricate art form. So you don't want to be like a sponge, okay? Nah. You don't want to be SpongeBob, okay? You want to have a very strong sense of identity as the foundation, as the substrate, as the underlying frame. And underneath that, there will be the similarities, which you're pulling from the other person and entering their world or entering their spirit. The spiritual is underneath the physical experience. It is the Brahman. It is what is already there. So when you can mirror somebody's spiritual values, like the value of contribution or the value of growth, when you can mirror their sense of deep-rooted narcissism as well as deep-rooted harmony and merging with another, the spiritual experience will be transferred onto the physical experience. That's what manifestation is. That's what all spiritual doctrines are really trying to teach, is this union or this connection. You can't be doing this and other people are saying, oh, they're seducing me. That's not a good seduction. When this is done well, it makes the target that you're trying to seduce think that they're the ones who are seducing you. Robert Musil was quoted in this chapter, and he said something very poetic that I want to state again. It's like the secret self spying upon him behind the curtain of another's eyes. Whoa. Sheesh. Okay? That deserves an applause. Can we just... The symbol of this chapter is the hunter's mirror. So you're basically creating a flow state pocket for this person where they're forgetting about everything around them. Their surroundings are all blurred. They're just connecting with you, and in you, they're seeing aspects of them. Hey, this could be a theory, but maybe this is why I attract a lot of blonde girls, right? Okay. Their guard is down because they sense that, hey, this person has my hair color. I even had this woman come up to me once in the club in Bali, kind of looked like a hotter version of Ellen DeGeneres, right? He was like, hey, we're twins, right? She said something like that. Hey, we're twins. Hey, we have the same hair, something like that, right? So this creates intrigue, this creates mystery, but it's more so this narcissistic desire to know ourselves. And we can know ourselves through a mirror, through a reflection in somebody else. So this month's Beast Camp is all about divine reflection. And I understand how powerful that is as a theme, especially when I read this chapter. Beast Camp, by the way, is if you go to imcbase1.com, we have Beast Camps every single month, okay? That's how we're leveling up, and that's how we're letting this tribe, ripple into the world. We're a men's group, so it's men only. However, we discuss so many different things and so many powerful things that you need to be a part of this if you really want to, excel on that greater level. So people want to appease to their own self-image, right? You know that girl who's like the friend of all the guys in the group? We all secretly want her, right? She's the home girl, right? The friend. She's the bro that hangs around all the guys and likes guy things. But we all have this secret narcissistic fantasy, okay? Maybe she wears a beanie. Maybe she wears a backwards cap. Maybe she likes sports. Maybe she's into mechanical cars and things like this, right? And just with that, there's a similarity. There's some sense of connection. Oftentimes men are attracted to the masculine qualities in women, right? We like confident women. I believe it was in the book, what was her name? Ninon Donclair or something like this, right? French name. It was said that she had a masculine philosophical keenness, and she would talk about things like war and politics that a lot of men like to talk about. And by doing this, they were seduced by her, drawn into her world. You gotta know the language of what your target speaks, okay? If she says TTYL, BRB, LOL, and you don't know what those mean, you're in trouble. The nuance here is you cannot live on their turf. You can't go from your planet of Mars and set up shop in Venus. You've got to visit their world and let them trust you, build rapport and comfort. A lot of the greatest seducers on the planet, from Casanova to John F. Kennedy, you know, they were surrounded by females growing up. And they also had a touch of femininity to them. Just a touch, right? Just enough to cause that narcissistic image in the other, where maybe she sees that, wow, this guy is so compassionate, and he has the level of compassion that I wish to merge with and I wish to have in myself. And so I find that intriguing that he's so compassionate, but he's also so tough and he has such a strong personality, right? That's what we're going for. You want to sprinkle different aspects of them slightly on you. Don't take that literally, okay? You're temporarily playing by their rules. You're starting to enjoy the things that they enjoy. You're adapting and morphing yourself to their desires, their fantasies. But don't make it look insecure, and don't make it look like you're depending on her or you're depending on him for your own sense of self-esteem or security. So in the book, right, there's this example of, I believe her name was Cindy Adams. Cindy Adams is a journalist who's writing an article on this guy called Sukarno, who is basically labeled as the Hitler of Asia. And in order for him to change the perspective that the world has on him, he has to seduce this journalist. And so what does he do? He treats her really nice. He's not domineering. He's actually a really kind person. But he's slowly lowering her guard so she can get that great article out. He has the target in mind. He used to always dress in military uniform and things like this, but then he saw how this journalist, Cindy, was dressing very casually, and so he tried to dress more casually, right? Slowly but surely, he would just be a little bit more casual in his dress sense. You know, come out with some slippers, come out with maybe a tank top or a hoodie. Then he would praise her hair and how her hair looked, and he decided that he wanted to dye his hair the same jet black that she had, and actually required her help to help dye his hair. Okay, so that's an intimate moment that he's creating there too. He would also like buy her helicopters, and anything she asked for, he would kind of, I mean, that's kind of simping in my opinion, to buy someone a freaking helicopter. But anyway, this is a rich guy, right? So he's like buying her a helicopter and her own private jet and things like this. And then also there'd be times where he would mirror her mood. So how she was feeling, he would create a sense of empathy and respond back in those moments. When someone is hypnotized by their own self-image, they relax. They think, have I always known you all my life? Are you me? How attractive would it be if you found the girl version of you, right? Think about this. And for women watching, how dope and sexy would it be if there was a male version of you somewhere? You'd be super into them. You'd be like, that's my man, right? But really what you're attracted to is yourself. Those traits, which you have in you, and maybe the masculine traits which you wish to adopt in yourself that you see in this man, or the feminine traits that he has that are very attractive to you. We have women commenting on these videos because women really understand this thing intuitively, okay? Women were made to be seducers. That's what they had to do. For women to have more power in terms of this, social interaction and gender dynamic and, masculine feminine polarity, they need to up their skills of seduction. A big source of people's frustration is that they're too into themselves. They're too self-absorbed. They have that stubbornness, right? That they just can't change. That's not attractive. You're gonna have to drop your mask, drop your ego, and ask yourself, how is this person more interesting than me? Okay? You have to really ask yourself that, because if you're the one who's saying, I'm the most interesting person in the room, right? You're actually creating a distance and a block from connecting with others. The biggest shift that you can do is to get more curious and ask yourself, what's intriguing or cool about this person that I don't know? And of course, you don't want to go deep right away, right? And then start asking them about their childhood right when you meet them. Obviously, there is a dance that takes place, a Shiva Shakti dance. Okay, you slowly build up to it, crack a few jokes here and there, make the mood lighter, make the mood warm, create some warmth, create some friendliness, create a nice environment, create a nice vibe where you're being playful. And then maybe you can ask about her sister or something like this, right? And that is way more potent of a strategy in entering their spirit than immediately going and trying to psychologically read their mind or something. But see, this is how I teach, and this is the cadence and tone in which I teach. However, this is not how I seduce, okay? If I were to seduce, I would slow it down, I would pace myself. I'd be very conscious of my voice and how it's coming across a lot deeper. I want to have that softness with the eyes. My sleepy eyes become softer, okay? Which is more attractive? This, or this? The third one, right? That's why I found that flow state is the right mechanism towards attraction. I'm actually writing a book on flow state and maintaining relationships and being attractive and magnetizing using flow. I'm thinking about really writing that because I understand that's where my true gifts kind of align in order to help people out of this struggle that is created between, gender dynamics and confusion and evolutionary psych and, red pill stuff. And it gets so muddied, you know what I mean? This information. But then we have the actual science, right? The preening, how bonobos interact and all this kind of stuff, right? If you're watching me for the first time, you learned something new. This is dope. Nobody else on YouTube is talking about this stuff, right? Kind of surface level. Robert Greene interviews. There's nothing much, in terms of a community that we're building. But I think we should create an online community where we're really tapping into this art of seduction stuff because I know that it helped you guys out so much. And of course, I know some of you guys have been asking for the quiz on how to know what my seductive archetype really is. We're still in the process of actually figuring this quiz out because we have to do a lot more research that goes into this kind of stuff before we just launch out a quiz, okay? So we're fine-tuning it. Don't worry, it's all gonna get done. You're gonna find the path working for you that's gonna make you the most irresistible motherfucker on this planet. That's what we're about. Let's get it. And I think we're gonna have to have a separate one for masculine archetypes and feminine archetypes. This is why, we have Primal Sutra gods in training. We need a goddesses in training. And I think I'm looking for that one chica that can come along in my life, who's the priestess, who can take care of that path working too, so we can help out both genders, okay? Also have a really good understanding of polarity and things like this. So we have this program called Matches into Dates. If you want to be part of our 5-day challenge, okay, please shoot me a message on Instagram and we'll add you to that group. We're doing a free 5-day challenge, okay? Sign up right away because then you can get a taste of the Matches into Dates program because we've helped a lot of guys out with this. Hopefully we can help you out with this too. So it's from March 13th to March 17th, 5 days. Let's get it. If you're interested, let me know. Have an incredible day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. Let's get it. De os.